All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. And in this video, Shakur Stevenson praises Gervonta Tank Davis and says, man, I understand him a whole lot better now, as he goes in on YouTubers. Surprise, surprise. Boxers are going at a lot of tweeters and YouTubers these days. But in this particular instance, it was also backed up by Bob Arum, who let a fact out, or at least a Bob fact out, which you know what it means. You got to kind of take it with a grain of salt, that contradicts a lot of what has been said about Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney, which is right now one of the biggest and best conversations in boxing, because those three people are three of the best fighters in all of boxing. But let's talk about it in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. And look, man, there is more BS flying around the lightweight division than any other weight class in boxing. And most of it emanates from one place, but man, boxing YouTube was catching strays yesterday. And I have to tell you, rightfully so, from Shakur Stevenson, who echoed what Gervonta Davis has said and is like, man, now I finally understand why Gervonta Davis treats y'all like he treats you. And I'm going to start doing what Gervonta Davis does. Now, and Bob Arum out here adding to it by saying that by telling people that one of the biggest things that have been used to attack Shakur Stevenson is not even true at all. And it shouldn't. And the fact that he says it's not true is not surprising. And it more than likely is not true, because it's absolutely silly. But it was silly if it is true. It's silly if it's not true. It's just a bunch of nonsense going on over there, going in that weight class between these fighters. But I'm telling you, the majority of this ridiculousness is coming from one source. But before I get into it, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you're a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you so much for your continued support. It really does make a huge difference to the channel, especially to everybody that supports on the super thanks. Thank you guys immensely. But let's get into this, man, because Shakur Stevenson is being asked questions ahead of his fight with Edwin De Los Santos. One of an excellent fight, really looking forward to. Man, Shakur Stevenson, who I do not consider myself to be a tremendous fan of. Like, in the sense that he's somebody like a Muhammad Ali to me, somebody I'm like, oh man, I just want him to win. When's his next fight? All of that, right? I don't have those feelings as a boxing fan. I do not have those feelings towards Shakur Stevenson. What I see in Shakur Stevenson, however, is a great fighter. Without a doubt, a great fighter, as good as many of the legendary fighters that I've seen, or the top, maybe legendary, maybe a little bit strong, but the great fighters that I've seen that have been at the top of the lightweight division, top of the 130-pound division, without a doubt, the Juan Manuel Marquez is, man, he fought at 135 pounds. I think Shakur Stevenson is at least that level of fighter as Juan Manuel Marquez. I think he's a better fighter than guys like Tim Bradley, who I have a lot of respect for as a fighter. Corey Spinks, right? And the only question for me with Shakur Stevenson is, and I don't know this yet, time will tell, is he the level of Pernell Whitaker? Is he the level of a Roberto Duran or a Sugar Ray Leonard at 147 pounds? I have a suspicion that he's already the level of a guy of like a Shane Mosley, right? Right. That's where I'm thinking of him, because he keeps getting better everything that I'm looking for, that I look for in a fighter, he has. The only thing that I can see that he doesn't have in abundance is the fact that he's not a one-punch knockout guy. But there are plenty of great fighters that were not one-punch knockout guys. However, if you pay attention to all of the media talk going on, you would swear this dude had never done anything in his career. If you listen to it, what a lot of people are saying on YouTube and what a lot of people say on Twitter, you swear this dude has never done anything in his career, man. You would swear that he didn't win a title at 126, that he didn't unify titles at 130 pounds, and that he's not an undefeated fighter who nobody has come close to beating. But when he answers this question, he says, look, he's like, man, first of all, talking to a reporter, you're a fan of Devin Haney. You all love Devin Haney. I understand why Gervonta Davis does what you guys does what he does now with you guys. When he doesn't talk to you, he just gets ghosts. He just gets ghosts and doesn't talk to you because you guys are just so biased for Devin Haney that you believe. And you say any type of stuff, right, against the other guy. And it doesn't matter. This is me adding to it. It doesn't matter if it's Gary Russell Jr., whether it's Gervonta Davis, whether it's Shakur Stevenson, whether it's Teofimo Lopez. Man, this dude is 100% right about that because a large contingent of Devin Haney fans have zero ability whatsoever to give any of those fighters their credit. But at the same time, will believe some of the most ludicrous things that are put out there by Devin Haney's camp. Now, for the purpose of this video, I'm going to use one thing as an example, and that one thing is this 25%. And Bob Arum was asked about it at a press conference. And he's like, man, look, that 25% never happened. Bob, he said, Bill and Devin never sent an offer for the Shakur Stevenson fight. They made it clear from the beginning that they didn't want the fight. And he said 90%, he said the majority of 50%, I think he may use the number 50%, or half of the stuff that you hear out, about boxing. He said it's the Wild West, and half of it is a bunch of BS. And in that BS, he put that 25%. Now, this is where I'm telling you, and I got good friends that are very, very big Devin Haney fans, and we can always agree to disagree on these type of things. But I am solidly 100% believe this. It makes far more sense that they never really made an offer to Shakur Stevenson for that fight than they offered him 25%. 25%, because first of all, it's 25% of what? 25% of what? And then the minimum amount of a purse is 30% for the WBC. Why in the world? Now, the interesting thing is that it is something that Shakur Stevenson said, that, you offered me that amount of money. Now, that is most definitely a discrepancy going there between Shakur and Bob Arum, which I really can't explain. However, if you listen to the general tone of Bob Arum, he's basically said, look, man, they couldn't make the weight. They didn't want to take the fight. And and I don't doubt that maybe the number at a certain point in time was thrown out there, could have been thrown out there. However, Bob Arum's tone was, look, man, those guys didn't want that fight. They were never serious about making that fight. They said that they were having trouble making 135 pounds, and that's why they moved up into the weight class. But again, they refuse, and Devin Haney fans, for some reason, they refuse to just say it, which everybody knows. And if you just tell the truth, you shame the devil. Look, I dropped the belt because I can't make the weight. It's not that I don't want to fight him, but it's hard to do that when you have a habitual, when framing people for ducks is habitual with you. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.